Well, guess who's back on the town? Hey everyone, this is Kevin, your failed journalist, and so this is a story that kind of surprised me, and I'm not entirely sure how I feel about it. I've been pretty open about how I think Kevin Spacey is one of the greatest actors of all time. And look, this isn't even just a Kevin Spacey thing. There's a lot of people who have been accused and actually have been convicted of terrible things that are the best at what they do. Woody Allen is one of our greatest writers, been accused of doing something pretty awful. Roman Polanski, been convicted of doing something extremely awful. Still a very talented director. I am definitely someone who believes in the law of the land. I believe that if you wrong society, you should be found guilty through the legal system and you should pay your due. Kevin Spacey has, well, been kind of a conflicting issue for me. I do not think the allegations against him are entirely untrue. I think he probably is a little bit of a sociopath. I do disagree with removing him from already completed films, but I don't necessarily blame people for not wanting to work with him again. That said, I also believe in due process, and he was accused of these things many years ago, and several lawsuits have been filed on his behalf, many of which have been dismissed for one reason or another. Now, granted, they weren't dismissed because the evidence was not strong enough, but because of circumstantial evidence, like someone died and the statute of limitations has passed, and at least in one case, the person didn't want to reveal who they were, and I think they did tamper with a cell phone, so that might be the closest we get to some funny business going on. Otherwise, Spacey still has tons of lawsuits against him, but he has not officially been deemed guilty of anything. He's not been convicted of being guilty as of this recording. Well, after 4 years, it seems that he's ready to mount a comeback, and aside from doing that public speech next to the statue and his yearly YouTube videos, he finally has an opportunity to come back because he has his first role in 4 years. So, disgraced actor Kevin Spacey is set to return to the big screen as a detective investigating the case of an elderly man wrongly suspected of dangling little boys in his first film nearly 4 years after he was first accused of misconduct. He just can't make things like this up. Spacey will star alongside English actress Vanessa Redgrave in the Italian film L'uomo che disegno Dio, aka The Man Who Drew God, and I am very, very sorry if my Italian was poor, which will be directed by Redgrave's husband, Franco Nero. Nero confirmed Spacey's casting during an interview with ABC News. He said, "I'm very happy Kevin agreed to participate in my film. I consider him a great actor, and I can't wait to start the movie." Now, again, this is a complicated situation because the accusations against Spacey are numerous, they are serious, and Spacey has not done a whole lot to convince people that he is not guilty of these things. He has not been convicted of anything either, though, and after 4 years, a comeback is not necessarily out of the cards. In fact, I remember when the allegations first surfaced, I said, barring a actual conviction, he'll be back within 5 years because Hollywood loves a comeback story. I think we should not actually punish people for crimes that they are not convicted of. And, who knows? Maybe by then Spacey will have learned some lessons about being a better person. Maybe not. Probably not. But possibly he can. And I've seen people asking, well, why would you want to hire a Kevin Spacey? Why would you want your movie to have this much baggage? And the reason I think they would want to hire Kevin Spacey, aside from the fact that he is a great actor, he won 2 Academy Awards for a reason, he is a great actor that right now has not worked for 4 years. Therefore, his asking price, which used to be yay high, is probably now... Is the hand even in the screen anymore? It probably isn't. It's way down here. Let's just say here. I don't want people to think the wrong thing. And whenever you can get a great actor who you know is going to do a good job in your movie for a bargain, you usually go with it and you put up with things that you normally wouldn't put up with. For example, Charlie Sheen was very publicly fired from Two and a Half Men, and while everyone would agree that Warner Brothers was in their right to fire Charlie Sheen, he was still a huge draw to the Two and a Half Men show itself, and so FX decided, you know what, we'll hire him, we'll commit to 100 episodes of the anger management series, and yeah, we're going to put up with a lot of guff right now, but Sheen, for all intents and purposes, is a big star on TV, and we can get him at a bargain basement price. This thing happens in Hollywood all the time, and the only surprise right now is that it frankly didn't happen a little bit sooner. Also, you have to keep in mind, this is not an American Hollywood movie where the executives are, held accountable to the whims of Twitter. This is an Italian movie. I don't even know if Twitter is that popular in Italy. It might be in Italy, but I think it's pretty clear that Twitter does not control the Italian culture. Thus, these filmmakers can make a movie with someone like Kevin Spacey pretty much largely to their own devices, and what's more, seeing as how Kevin Spacey is now in this film, it would take a movie that had no shots of making any money in America. Now that movie has a shot of making some money in America, and it even adds some street cred to the project that was otherwise probably just going to be considered just some foreign flick. So really, this is a great place for Kevin Spacey to start building back his career. He gets to make a movie again, which brings him back into the limelight. He is in a movie where the producers are not held to the whims of Twitter, and the movie, which probably would not have gotten a lot of international attention, now has huge international box office potential because they have a major star. And if this movie does better at the box office in foreign countries than it's expected to, that's going to be a huge incentive to know that the Kevin Spacey hate train has kind of died out and he can go back to maybe making more movies. He might even make a couple low budget films in America and regain his reputation slowly but surely. The one aspect about this that might be a little concerning for him is the fact that he is playing a prosecutor who is defending a man wrongly accused of a sex crime. Now, there is a huge irony in this, and this, by the way, kind of leads me to believe that Kevin Spacey maybe hasn't completely learned his lesson yet. It's pretty clear that he would take on a role like that basically to give his critics the middle finger. Because from his perspective, he is being falsely accused of crimes that he did not commit. Whether he did commit them or not, a court will have to decide. But he is basically taking a role, and he is going to play the prosecutor of someone who has been wrongly accused of doing things. That's something that he personally feels he did not do, but that he fell under that umbrella. And so talk about basically giving the middle finger to your critics. Not only is he going to continue working, he's going to play the very role that in their eyes he should be staying as far away from as possible. But hey, that's life, that's my opinion, and that's the end of this video. What do you all think? Are you going to be seeing this Kevin Spacey movie? Are you not going to be seeing it? Do you think he should be working again? Do you think he should not be working again? Do you think he will actually be convicted and found guilty? I would love to know. Comment below, like, favorite, share, subscribe, and as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one.